Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your number one podcast, the Fantactics Podcast. I have with me in the studio, as usual, my ebullient co-host, the Octopus of Worldwide, Sabubu. Crack a smile for the Fantactics fans. Sabubu Elkud in the building. What's up, Sabubu?
We're good. For the first time, international break was exciting. We saw cream de la cream matches. We saw Europe taking football to another level. And trust me, the next World Cup is going to be
Explosive. We were talking about the Nations League being glorified friendlies, but we had to swallow our pride and eat our words. We are back again with the man who was with us on the last show to discuss all things football, left, right, center, and worldwide. Yes, welcome back to the show, Lord Raph.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Now, Sabubu, we haven't been able to really recover from the excitement of what went down during this international break. Ladies and gentlemen, before we dive into the cocoa of the show, if you are not following us, you are watching this video now and you are not following us yet, please, before we go on, quickly go subscribe, like. Thank you. Can we continue now?
So the Nations League had the 8 best teams in Europe. Now, the Nations League was set up in such a way that UEFA didn't want all those meaningless friendly matches. And they wanted a tournament that teams would take very serious to increase their coefficient ranking. Now, after League A, League B, League C, and League D, the best 8 teams from League A were now seeded and drawn. Croatia had the first leg in Zagreb against France. Denmark had played the first leg in Copenhagen against Portugal. Italy had the first leg in Milan against Germany, while the Netherlands had their first leg in Feyenoord against Spain. And it was shocking. Croatia went 2-0 against France.
Yeah.
It was as if France were lost in that match.
So, well, one thing with football that we have observed is surprises will always come. Although, like we said during the show, we expected 1 or 2 curveballs, but the status quo will always be re-established, and that's what happened during the return legs.
Then the actual match, Denmark versus Portugal, the match was not really exciting if you really watched the match. It was just one moment of magic from the guy that has not scored good for months. Hayek. Is that not his name?
Højlund.
Højlund,
yes.
Manchester United fans, please forgive me. He doesn't score a lot, so we're not used to
his name. Højlund, please. This thing they are saying, please start scoring.
Then Lord Raph, Italy, Germany. Remember we said when we gave Italy the edge in this match, but the Germans showed us who they are.
You and who gave Italy the edge?
I gave Italy the edge.
No, you can't give. That's why they fell off the edge. That edge you gave them is why they fell off.
I said Italy would win or draw.
Oh.
Apparently they started very well.
They started very well. They actually scored like the first 2 or 5 minutes. They scored.
But
Then the Germans found a way to come back. But the second leg was actually very interesting.
Then the last match that day was Netherlands versus Spain.
2-2. Yeah.
We all agreed that there was going to be a lot of goals. There will be goals, and then of course we backed Spain to triumphantly. And in the second leg, it was still very close. All the games.
Then for the guys that tried to get into League A, had their own playoffs. Turkey played at home to Hungary in the first leg. They won 3-1. Austria and Serbia played 1-1. Greece lost at home to Scotland in the first leg. Listen, Then Ukraine beat Belgium 3-1.
That was. I watched that game. I tuned into the game and I was like, what did they happen here?
Now let's
what? And the one was a consolation one. No.
Now let's get to the second leg. The second leg, France versus Croatia. It's obvious Deschamps knew he made an error in his first leg selection, because France didn't have the pace, they didn't have the bite. In fact, Croatia bullied France in that first leg. But in the second leg, you saw what Odyssey did. Yeah. That young man,
Olise, the attack combination of Olise, Dembele, and Mbappe was very fluid, and there was a lot of movement, trickery and stuff. So although Mbappe had a very quiet night, but there are going to be days like that. It's exciting now that they have the kind of players in the France setup that can share the burden, and that's what you actually want in the national team. Just deviating a little bit down to Brazil, you also saw that Vinicius and Rafinha were combining very well to deliver a victory for Brazil. Those are the kind of games you saw. Bellingham and Harry Kane for England. You need your star players to show up like that, and it's a good one for France.
And apparently that match was more of an emotional match.
Yes.
Because Giroud was given a healthy sense of
Effort, yes.
finally that okay, fine, no, to the French crowd has started. So
Yes.
the pressure was on the players.
To deliver. I think aside from the send forth for Olivier, which was a very touching moment, an act of class from French football. I think everybody knows Deschamps' days are numbered as French boss. I think they are also under the that added pressure to deliver something meaningful for him as a farewell.
Because
They might not be able to win the World Cup. They might not. I'm not saying they won't, but they are looking at the Nations League as another opportunity to get a medal and create better
Germany
memories.
and Italy played yesterday. Apparently, I was switching from one channel to another. But the 4 matches were taking place simultaneously. And Germany just went 3-0 up, and I said, match over. Then I turned back and realized, what? These fellas are crazy.
So those are the kind of games, Lord Raph. Those are the kind of games that you go to sleep. You'll be like, okay, this one is finished. You go to sleep. You thought you are a German. You thought your country has finished work, and then you just wake up. You be like, my God, what happened here? Although they still got the job done, but I mean, credit to the Italians. They showed a lot of
character,
pride. Yes,
to
fight back.
It was an interesting night. Like you said, I kept tuning from one channel to the other, and at the end of the day, you keep missing action.
Yeah, you miss.
Because you watch. I was watching
Waiting for the replay.
Don't worry, very soon we'll have the fantastic, how do you call is it control room where we'll put 12 television. We can be monitoring South America, monitoring Europe, monitoring African Cup of Nations, our World Cup qualifiers.
Portugal Denmark was another very tricky tie in the sense that in regulation time the match ended 3-2.
Yes.
Then extra time was where the other goals came in, and I saw. Well, remember we talked about Denmark being a cohesive team.
Yeah,
it showed. But for Portugal, it was more of individual talents that delivered them in that match.
Momentum.
The Ronaldo scored again, which was good to watch. Now, I'm beginning to miss him.
And he did the celebration.
Yeah. Then Spain versus Netherlands was another crazy match.
Yeah.
A team that does not considered 3 goals yesterday.
When is Spain going to lose a match? They've not lost in over a year.
We're talking about that, and Sabu made a comment that they just find
a way to just
and just to be on. Let's just look at it. Those guys are not even peaking yet. They have not peaked. Yes. That's a team that contains some of the best young talent.
And
they have Yamal, they have Pau Kubasi, they have
Nico Williams.
They have Nico Williams. They have Huijsen from Bournemouth.
Yes.
These are teenage centre backs for crying out loud. You have Lenormand. He's still, they have players.
Pedri cannot even.
David.
Then Danny Olmo.
Danny Olmo is on the
start. Moreno couldn't start.
You just look
at the bench. You know how crazy it is.
And a lot of their players are actually very technically gifted players.
Very technically gifted.
The ball retention is key. Like the Spain team, there's still a lot to
come from them. Yes,
and it's scary actually.
And it's we are just set up for a very explosive, end to the Nations League in June.
And now also, going forward, the series is Spain versus France, and then Germany versus Portugal. That's going to be.
Apparently, Germany is hosting the last
4.
So it was even good they made it through. If not, they would have hosted without them.
Maybe we won't be seeing them in the stadium because it's a bit very quickly. Those German people, they video the stadium now. People will travel, go full up. So that was.
After then the guys that were trying to come into League A, Turkey finished the job in Hungary 3-0. they went through, so they will play in League.
So Turkey were more hungry than hungry.
Yes.
Okay.
Then the shocking one was Scotland that went to Greece to win 1-0.
One.
Lost at home 3-0.
I was very surprised. I tuned into the match. I was like, what? I kept waiting for the moment to come. Never came.
Hayden Park is one of the most noisiest venues, one of the most intimidating atmospheres. I don't know what Greece are cooking, but we'll be there. 3-0 at that stadium. Do you know how many people Scotland have massacred in that stadium?
Even
Spain have fallen in that
Yes.
The
stadium.
last Spain
So
was last-
whatever Greece are cooking, because they have a lot of young, exciting talents
Yes,
coming
they
through.
had something.
We will be watching. We'll be
Then
there.
Belgium finished the job. It was a fantastic comeback, 3-0 to Ukraine. So Ukraine's hope of wanting to
Playing.
play in League A, they will remain in League B.
For
next
now,
season.
let it be like that.
So let us come to the African continent, where the big boys in Africa played on Friday night. Burkina Faso beat Djibouti 4-1, which was expected. Ethiopia lost at home to Egypt 2-0. DR Congo beat South Sudan 1-0. Then the group we all want to talk about, Group C. Let's start with South Africa. They beat Lesotho. Apparently, the match was the place that Osimhen Nigeria was playing, and I was switching both matches, and I realized that South Africa is a team that knows how to probe. They're a very patient team. What they did to us in Uyo, we should expect more of that when we go to either Johannesburg, Pretoria, anywhere. Lesotho were holding on, and when the floodgates open, I knew there was going to be a problem. It would have been much more than 2-0. They were just lucky. Then for Nigeria, friends, what we said came to pass. What you guys talk, I saw the coach in that team, not Nigerian player. I saw this is what I want them to play.
So apparently Shell brought them out of their shell. Yes. Now I would like us to maybe take a few points to discuss. I know we have to go for a short break soon, but I mean there are some key points that we can look at and take away from that fixture, and I want us as a panel to look into those. We talked about what to expect from the team. We talked about the shape. We talked about the pressing. We talked about game management, and then we talked about a bit about the personnel. So, Lord Raph, just from your perspective, was there any surprise, or were there any surprises watching that fixture?
Okay, so the first thing that I noticed straight away from the lineup
Yeah.
was that it was actually a very attacking lineup.
Okay.
So which was kind of exciting to see. Okay. But then it's exciting on one hand, but on the other hand, I'm thinking if we are playing the bigger teams, the midfield was a little bit exposed in a little bit. We wanted to go to attack, to press, imprint his philosophy on the opponents, which we could say worked out, because I mean the first 10 minutes we already had a goal and we were already up, and we managed to double it. Okay, so there was a lot of attacking invasion. There was, there was pressing. You could see they were pressing from trying to China. So it was actually, there was a lot of energy. So of course you don't want to read too much. It's just one game. You want to see a lot of games, but so far so good. Let's see how he goes on, and then when he plays the bigger teams, is he going to lead the midfield exposed like that? I would like to think not.
Yeah. So that's a nice one. Now, Sabubu, we observed something which has been something of a rarity in our Super Eagles setup, scoring from a set piece. I don't know if you know.
Instead, we're always conceding
from set pieces. So, Sabubu, what do you think Shell changed about that? And not only was it a goal from it, it was kind of the way it was taken. We caught the opponents off guard. They overloaded the penalty area, the far post, and stuff like that. Sabubu, what do you think Shell changed?
That's the good thing about Africa. If that match was played in Europe, or we had an English ref, they would have been drawing the line to see if he's offside. You understand? But I think going forward, Lookman will likely just be taking his set pieces. That's just the truth. Because we have an attacker that is very hungry for the ball. At any point, give me the ball. If I can't score, I will create for you.
Yes.
And apparently, the free kick was very fast. So
Very
before
fast.
Rwanda defenders could
set up.
react,
Yes.
it was already a goal. You understand? And that really calmed the nerves in the team. Because if that goal had not come in,
They're under more
pressure, and I don't know if they will start to panic. Now, you talked about the midfield. I still feel that Iwobi should not be given a defensive role. He cannot do it. Give him that free role if that's what he thinks he can do, and let him have maybe one holding midfielder, another midfielder can easily roam that midfield and help attack and defense. Because with an Iwobi in that team, you're suspect to penetration and defense will be in trouble.
I think Iwobi is more of box to box.
Yes.
He's
No,
more.
Now I was coming to that. You know, I think, and I want us to reason it out. I want you all to get involved in the conversation. Now, the City midfielder was Wilfred Ndidi, and if you look at this game for the Super Eagles, for the last games that he has played for us, he has looked leggy. He looks a bit off the pace. Now we have defensive midfielders like Alassane Yusuf. We have Raphael Oyedika, an engine room like Oyeka who could do the job in that position, and even the new invitee Papa Mustafa. Now, I don't know. What do you think about maybe Chelle bringing in one of those defensive midfielders and then giving Ndidi a more central role, and then freeing up Iwobi to go forward?
If you're going to do that, either one of Moses Simon or the other guy will not
We
play.
don't play. Yes,
Remember that.
that will come in.
Moses Simon or who?
Lookman, you cannot.
No, Lookman.
Lookman will play.
So maybe Chukwueze, one of them will play.
So now,
and you alter the style completely.
No, it's not about altering
it's not about altering the style. It's more about protecting your back four.
Yeah, I know.
And that will come in when we play. That's why I said when we play that
if we're playing like a South Africa.
When we play South Africa,
Egypt, you have to change
Morocco, those bigger countries.
Yeah.
You need to.
Our defense was
it's not just about whether being tested or not. What do you think about the job they did? Because you can only digest what is in front of you.
They played well and they pressed. Nigeria does not press.
So you were impressed by the press?
Well, they will keep on pressing.
But maybe to add to
they will press well.
To add to your point would be, is most times what I notice when new managers come into teams, they tend to work with what is already on ground. So as they go along, they now discover the players and know, okay, this player has this quality, this player has this quality. He hasn't had much training sessions.
That's true.
So he tends to go with, okay, this is what they have been doing already.
He had only
This is
2
what
training
I'm
sessions.
uncomfortable with.
Exactly. Now, before tomorrow's match,
yes.
he might have
So now figure out some other things and say, okay, I think I can play this guy in this position. I can play this guy. So with time, those points you're making about maybe playing somewhere else in
different positions or
maybe if it was somebody else. Those are things he will figure out with more training sessions.
Well, so far so good. We know there are some undroppable players right now in the Super Eagles setup. I mean, 2 goals from the man himself, chasing down the legend of the Super Eagles and the top goal scorer in Nigeria's history. Victor Osimhen is now second.
Yes.
So it's just only behind Rashidi Yekini. Guys, what do you think about that performance? Hunger, tenacity, strength, determination, and of course, they buried the ball.
It's everything you've come to expect from the system.
Sabubu, one word for Osimhen.
I want to see Osimhen score goals in tournaments. He's very good in qualifiers, but in tournaments, he doesn't average the kind of goals he should be scoring based on the performance he gives. Because most of his goals, if you look at it, is based on our qualifying series. He scores a lot of goals in qualifiers. So we need him to fire in the actual
The performance is there, but maybe he now needs to back it up with goals. So maybe be like top scorer of the tournaments, things like that. But I'm sure that will come. I don't have any problem.
Osimhen, if you are watching this, please don't mind Sabubu. score all the goals and get us to the World Cup. When we get there, we'll worry about whether you score
the
or
highest
not. And anyways, we appreciate our players as always because, of course, football is one of the uniting forces of our country right now, and it's just exciting to get this kind of results that can lift the morale of the people. We are going to go on a short break. Don't break the transmission. Now we dey go break, no be you. Stay glued. Fantastics is coming back.
The international break still continues with some matches in Europe, Africa, and in the CONMEBOL.
Yes.
CONMEBOL has the local derby between Brazil versus Argentina.
An eternal rivalry.
El Clasico.
In fact, South Clasico, that was the
Straight.
And we all know how that match will pan out.
No,
People will throw blows.
sorry, who is we all know?
We-
Okay.
People-
If it's that one,
people
because we don't know who will win.
No,
but if na blow, it go day.
We don't know who will win.
Eh,
We have left it for you people to decide who will win.
yes.
We
But
know
if
that-
it's blow, there will be blow.
We know that.
If it's yellow card, there will be like 12.
And if there's going to be red card, it'll be like 2.
It's possible. It's very possible.
Mhm. And they might even bust team plane.
No, tear gas. Yes, tear gas.
Go
Okay.
go bust out.
All those ones. Normal.
So for Africa, the Super Eagles will be playing Zimbabwe in Uyo, and South Africa will be playing Republic of Benin. Now, Nigeria has 6 points now from 4 or 5 matches,
Yes.
and as it is, they should just take every match as it comes.
I mean,
If they keep winning their matches,
Excuse me, Sabu. Is that supposed to be an advice?
no,
See,
for now it's an advice.
no, it's not an advice. Please, we use una beg God because God too big to use beg una. Super Eagles, don't take every match as it comes. So don't take it as it comes. Mona go meet the match for road. Don't wait for the match to meet you. The same way wanna take enter like this, una just go woo 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 woo. So against Zimbabwe now, before they know where they did, una go Zimba them. Do you understand? I want to advise all the people, if you are watching us from Uyo, Sabubu, sorry, just excuse me. If you are watching us from Uyo, all of you enter stadium, buy ticket, enter stadium, noise level up. Make sure that those Zimbabwe people don't come and sing Awimbowe. Will make them uncomfortable because we need to go World Cup. It's not that we carry our cup around the world. We have to go to World Cup.
Then the big guns in Africa will be playing at home.
Yeah.
Egypt will play Sierra Leone. We all know what will happen in that match.
Yes, that one we know.
We know that the African champions will be playing. Senegal will play at home against Togo. We all know what will happen in that match.
Yeah, Senegal is good to go. Yes.
Cameroon will play Libya. Did you see what Libya did? Libya are back in the music, in the news.
See, this Libya, they need to live here. I don't know. Wait, what's the problem with CAF? They want to wait for them to kidnap players before they ban them.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I don't know.
People when we say their country is already there in crisis, they carry their player again.
I saw the players, and the funny thing, they tend to divert planes to deserted
airports.
Cargo airports.
So now people's national athletes are now cargo
to the Libyans.
No problem. CAF, we are watching you people because these things are bad antecedents that are being laid down. Tomorrow now, another team will decide to employ those kind of tactics to destabilize opponents. It's not proper.
The truth is, to be fair, most of those North African countries, a lot of them, they have problems with human rights, generally speaking, problems that are outside of football. So it's a wider reaching societal problems that might have to deal with, but obviously it's beyond the scope of this show. But we just
gentlemen will not allow ourselves to get annoyed or derailed by Libyans.
Then by Thursday, football is back. The rescheduled fixture for Barcelona versus Osasuna will take place, and what do you think about that match?
Guys, I don't know. I know most of the Barcelona guys are Europeans, but we still have the likes of Rafinha in that 11, and we all know Rafinha is a very key player for Barcelona. I don't know how they are going to fare without him. We will see, because it's very unlikely that he will make it back in time to get into the starting 11 or even, contribute meaningfully. So that will be a test for Barcelona. We will get to see their depth, the squad depth, and what they can do.
I'm very sure that why that match is taking place is scheduling fixture.
Yeah, no. There's a scheduling problem.
Yeah,
they are
have a lot of
active in
games.
they're active in a lot of competitions. Yes, Champions League. So they just have to get that fixture squeezed in somewhere. So it's going to be a tough match for them, just because a lot of their players are internationals and they have been engaged over the
And they
break.
just played
Yes,
yesterday,
so it will be crazy.
So
and
are
then
you not
to add
saying
to that,
Osasuna players on the travel?
no
compared to
comment.
Barcelona.
If I speak now, I'll be in
I'm
very
in
big
trouble.
trouble.
Then on Friday, Bayern Leverkusen will play VfL Bochum in the Bundesliga. Raph,
I think that should be a win for Bayern.
which of the Bayern?
Bayern Munich.
No, Leverkusen.
Leverkusen. Oh, okay, Leverkusen.
They
Yes.
will Bochum.
Then
You expect them to
on
win.
Saturday, La Liga starts with Real Sociedad versus Real Valladolid. Then Espanyol will take on Atletico Madrid. Then Real Madrid will play Leganes. Remember, next week there are Champions League matches. That's why most of the matches are taking place on
Saturday. Barcelona, it's not going to be easy for them. I think they're also playing on Sunday. And then they have to step into the Champions League.
That means Real Madrid with Leganes. You guys have not said anything about it.
Real Madrid Leganes. Yeah, we don't
back from the international break. Sometimes it takes players time to adjust. So, but all in all, I think Madrid to win.
Bayern Munich versus Poli.
Bayern Munich.
The Saints are going to bow to Bayern. Sorry. So I think we still have some Premier League fixtures in midweek. The Champions League is going to
the FA Cup weekend.
Yeah, it's an FA Cup weekend, but we have Premier League on Monday and Tuesday.
I think there's no Champions League.
No, it's the upper week.
There's
It's the upper week.
Yes, there's Copa del Rey.
There's Premier League. The
Premier League on Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Yes,
7 and 8 and 9.
So we have Premier League fixtures, which is the staple food of our own part of the world.
But we are still in Italy. Juventus will play Genoa on Saturday.
Okay.
Lecce will play AS.
Oh, did you hear the news? Juventus have sacked their manager.
I only heard that they signed like Igor Tudor has signed a contract, but no news broke about the sack itself. Has it really been publicized that he sacked?
How can you sign a coach?
No, you remember that other coach where said they were sacking himself. So I don't know what's happening in Italy.
I think that's Italian.
That's their new method of sacking. It's just be like we have signed. You won't announce to sack anybody. You just heard we have signed a new contract with Igor Tudor, former international. This. What's going on in Italy? I beg, Mona, they try fire your coach properly. What did he do? So apparently, coach, you just you snatched away from a Champions League qualification campaign from Bologna, and he was looking forward to a Champions League campaign. You took him away from his team. You told him you have time, rebuild the squad for us, and you're already impatient. What's happening? Why are they acting like Chelsea?
I think. Let me tell you what I think. What's happening in Italy presently is Juventus were in fourth for a while. They lost 2 straight games to Atalanta 4-0 at home and to Fiorentina 3-0. It now coincided with Bologna coming up and AS Roma and Lazio. They just kept winning. They kept winning. And they just thought maybe the players needed a new lift. The new manager bounced in.
Yeah.
You understand? Because Thiago Motta was running out of ideas. I keep telling people, big clubs tend to bring out. It's just by God's grace and maybe your share
charisma.
Andres Pirlo saw it. He was kicked out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
there's less time, patience
for you at that level. But
I felt it was too soon.
It was too soon.
Give him to the end of the season. If he doesn't make Champions League, or it becomes at a very great risk of missing out, then fine. But at this point, to pull the trigger, I think it was.
Then there's a trophy to be fought for. Fulham will take on Crystal Palace in the first quarterfinal of the FA Cup. Then Brighton will take on Nottingham
For a
Forest.
chance to go to Wembley.
So those two matches, Fulham, Crystal Palace. What's your take?
I'm backing Fulham. I have to go with my Nigerian boys.
Renz,
Yeah.
Fulham, Crystal.
Of course, you know, the Super Eagles will superimpose.
Then Brighton, Nottingham Forest.
Brighton,
that
not
will be a
Forest. I'll go
tricky
with
one.
Forest.
I go
I'll
with
still go
Brighton.
with Forest.
I go with Brighton. Brighton at home. I'll
That's
go
Brighton at
Brighton.
home.
I'll go with Forest. We'll deforest Brighton.
Sorry?
Yes, we'll
By the
deforest
time
Brighton.
Brighton had done, they would have burned down the Forest.
Oh! Well, let's see how that goes.
Then we'll go to Sunday fixtures.
Okay. For Sunday,
Barcelona will play Girona. Athletic Bilbao will play Osasuna. Then Valencia will play Mallorca. Then Real Betis will play Sevilla.
For Barcelona, it's just the combination
I'll
of
say a win or draw
Okay.
for them because
Maybe
fatigue
will
will
play.
replay
Then
a
Atletico
part.
Bilbao.
Bilbao versus
Osasuna.
Osasuna, I'll give them a win or draw.
Yes.
Valencia Mallorca.
Valencia
Both sides
seems
score.
to be so Valencia seems to be picking up steam a little bit. Maybe it coincided with the lanky Nigerian coming to. You know, we have what do they call it? Ogo, this oil, Ororo. So our boys always take these things to their clubs. Yeah, Ororo. So you know, the lanky Nigerian went there now, and it's now Ororo in their attack that could not score. So I will back them with a win or draw.
Then
I'll say a straight
We
win.
have the Seville derby.
Yeah.
Real Betis versus Seville.
It's a
Betis
tricky
are-
one. It's a
That's
tricky
so
one.
tricky. But Betis, they're on form currently,
Yes,
and they have
they're-
this Manchester Looney that is doing great
Anthony.
things. And
Anthony,
Anthony.
abandoned project. That's when they become-
Yeah, Anthony has now grown into his own,
So I'll back
space
Betis to score to
Yeah,
win
to win.
or draw.
Then in Italy, we have three
serious
matches.
serious top of the table
Fiorentina will
clashes.
take on Atlanta. This is strictly Champions League fighting.
Fights.
Inter will play Udinese. They are chasing the Scudetto. Then
Mm.
Napoli will take on AC Milan.
Mm.
For Fiorentina Atalanta, it depends on which Atalanta side shows.
Yeah, we know that.
They off and puff.
But you know, Fiorentina are very unforgiving.
No, even Fiorentina themselves are also very inconsistent.
consistent. Yeah.
So, like we said, we don't know who is turning up with who.
I
so-
would just marginally go with Fiorentina because they are two.
Inter Udinese.
Inter. I think Inter will be.
Napoli AC.
Those are teams again that you don't know because
No, I think it's a straight win for Napoli.
Napoli.
They are at home first and foremost, and secondly, AC Milan. You see,
They are either or
they sacked their coach by telling the coach to sack himself. Now see where they are. Consecao himself is at the risk of getting sacked. So I don't know what's happening
Less
in
than
the
3 months.
yes, less than 3 months. Now Thiago Motta his own. They announced his own. Be going home. I don't know what's happening with these guys. Everybody wants to sack their coach. But anyways, good luck to you guys. I'll back Napoli with a straight win.
Then the remaining quarterfinals of the FA
FA
Cup.
Cup.
Preston North End will take on Aston Villa. I can imagine how electric that stadium will be. A small team.
If it-
They're the only small team remaining.
If you like, made a stadium there electric. They go off.
They
there.
go off.
They go off there.
Then Bournemouth will take Man City.
This is another.
I-
This is where electric.
Can
electric.
Bournemouth do it for the culture?
They might not be able to do it for the culture, but they'll do it for themselves. Wanna come on Man City first. This season, make Pep Guardiola just feel how in they make other people feel. You understand? Pep, we don't have problem with you, but at least be humble.
Then top of the table clash in Holland. PSV Eindhoven versus Ajax. Then Feyenoord versus Go Ahead Eagles. That's team of profile back in the days.
We go ahead.
Well,
They've gone the sound as in as
they have defensive issues. They concede lots of
Who's
goals.
that?
So PSV.
Yes,
So
PSV.
I expect them to concede goals.
But they're playing at home.
It doesn't matter.
And
They're always
then,
going to concede.
Ajax, they're top of the Eredivisie,
Yes.
but they always have issues with PSV.
Yeah, all the time. I'll just go safely with both
Both
teams to score. Yes.
Then for Monday, we have a Monday night fixture we should just talk about.
I think it's just Torino versus Lazio. That's
Yes, Torino Lazio. Yes, Torino Lazio and Hellas Verona versus Parma, more of a relegation battle.
Yeah. So, well, those are some of the fixtures we can look forward to. I mean, the Premier League will be resuming from midweek. We'll be here from next week to discuss what's going to go down in the league from that time. So we just encourage you to stick with us and to stick around and to stick on us. How they all this is. Anyways, stick your hand on the subscribe button. Anyhow, maybe you understand there's a sticking.
There's a stick.
Yes, there's a stick.
And press the follow.
Yes, follow us. Guys, man, look, we appreciate all you do. We appreciate your engagement on social media. But I'm gonna put mouth for this matter. Not be only us gather here to talk. Let us hear your voice. Let us get your predictions. Engage us in the comment sections. Drop your opinion and your own analysis because fan tactics, na fans, their tactics. You get that?
Correct.
That's so.
So before we go, give us a prediction. Nigeria, Zimbabwe, not straight win. Give us the score.
Scoreline.
Yes.
Nigeria, Zimbabwe. I'm looking at. Let's just add one for the culture. 3-0.
I'm actually going to be 3-0 too.
3-0-2.
All right, it's a hat trick of 3 zeros. Super Eagles.
Osimhen 2, Lukman 1.
Lukman 2, Osimhen 1. Anyways,
Both will score.
both to score. So it's a tiebreaker. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us. We just want to see our Eagles soar and get us to the World Cup. Now be my own now. I said on the last episode, I don't believe we can win all the games. I still stand by that. But I mean, let's build up steam. Let's build momentum so that when we get there, we worry about the points we are going to drop. Until we come back next week from me, Renz, aka the man where they make sense with every sentence. I want to say bye-bye to Fantastic Universe.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Stay blessed.